Hey, I wanted to share some thoughts I'm having right now um, on the topic of when we are recovered. A part of really holding on to and deepening our resilience is in remembering that we kind of have to make room for distractions and other things to focus our attentions on and our energy while we are waiting and being patient for the compounded effects of all our efforts to show up. So we gotta, that's something that's pretty difficult for me is, you know, I get so excited and thinking like, yes, like, for example, for me, the thing is finding a new job right now. I get so excited applying for jobs um, and talking to a couple places, and then I start feeling really down, like, well, what am I still doing right now? And it makes me exhausted. And then I start thinking of the past and everything that led up to this, and then I can start to feel down. But that's the exact opposite of the energy that we need to hold and maintain in order to practice resilience. Because a part of resilience is being able to say that things are still absolutely enjoyable. Things are still, there's still beauty to be admired. All the the scary parts, or the parts that can feel like it's like catching up to us. We're like, oh my god, like I don't have much time until something bad's gonna happen, or I'm put into some kind of situation. Like I gotta get out of here, like that kind of feeling. That can be totally realistic, and I totally empathize and understand. I mean, that's what I go through myself. But a part of that resilience is to be able to say, if that is truly what I believe, and I trust myself. I trust um, my thoughts and perceptions and understandings of what is compatible for me, what utilizes my advantages and is gentle to my disadvantages. I understand all this stuff. And I agree with myself that, yeah, I shouldn't be here. But a part of being able to be like, okay, so if I'm really convicted, then that means even more I will do whatever it takes to not let things get me down right now, because anything that gets me down is going to keep me too exhausted, too discouraged, too just sad and depressed in order, or from continuing putting forth the most efforts I can to extricate myself from the situation quicker, right? So it's kind of a funny, just how it works like that. It kind of seems counterintuitive, um, but every time you come back to that place of being like, oh god, like this really should not be it an abusive relationship, just an incompatible job, a place you live, just a bad situation where you're like um a plant in the desert, or you're a fish stuck up in that tree. um yes, recognize and honor that for yourself, and have gratitude that you're able to even have that knowledge, that awareness, and that awareness that you don't want to settle for whatever this is. But still, it's still important to be able to be like, well, I'm gonna water my. That's the cool thing about humans. We can water our own minds and spirits. Um, we have so many amazing survival skills, and adaptation skills, and some of those, it includes being able to feel okay in poor circumstances, being able to use the power within our minds. We all have this power, the power to be able to imagine beauty, to soak up all the goodness that we have wherever we are. And through that lens, it makes us feel strong and powerful and connected to the world around us. And not only does it open up the opportunities that we can understand and see right now, like being the ways that we can strategize now, being like, I don't want to be doing this, but I do want this. This is what I can imagine me doing. This is what I want to go towards. Not only does staying positive and really affirming your universe, everything you see and perceive through your eyes and in your zone, affirming that, um, you know, but it also could open up some pathways that you are unaware of as of now, or some bits of knowledge or information that kind of put together a couple last puzzle pieces, which make the type of interaction that you're looking for come with a lot more ease. And, it's like when we are ready, it'll happen. And sometimes it takes experimentation to figure out what parts of us aren't ready, but never just sit there in patience. Never just sit there saying, like, divine, God, universe, whoever, like, please throw this on me. Just like throw it on me. Like, you have to be looking for things and putting in effort, and that's a part of what I've learned is so crucial about mental health and just feeling stable and secure and calming the physiology of our nervous systems and regulating our stress hormones and everything. It's so crucial to feel in control. Even though nobody is totally in control, and we all have varying degrees of mobility and resources at our disposal, we still all have that capacity to feel in control. There's a reason why people are able to be homeless or be astronauts or any other thing that requires like extreme mental gymnastics and fortitude in order to survive, because otherwise your mind would constantly just be like, oh my God, like there's so little control here. I can't do it. These kind of extreme experiences, it's a really good reminder that we all do have this innate capacity, and need to feel in control. So that's just to say, if you haven't yet made the decisions that you need in order, whatever that looks like to you, for you to be able to say to yourself, I feel good, like I literally feel lighter and more interested in and more hopeful about my future. If you haven't taken those actions yet, then you gotta take them, whatever that looks like, however big or small it is. And in order to maintain that sense of control, that experimentation, like life is always a journey, there's always experimentation, trying different things, but you can't just stay static, stay hoping, stay feeling like disconnected from the world and like you're not on your own adventure and calling. You have to continue feeling like you're on your own adventure and calling, just for your sanity's sake and also practical sake, in order to eventually get you into a circumstance that is more compatible with your personal advantages, disadvantages, preferences. So yeah, I really am liking thinking lately about the the beauty of control and our ability to experiment and exercise our will in this world, and it has actual effects on stress reduction and helping our nervous system feel stronger, and then that'll reflect in our mind, just like our psyche space feeling calmer and stronger and more centered, because that's kind of just like a reflection of where our physiology is at. In many ways, I've found, for me at least, in different times in my life, sometimes I've had really strong positive mindsets when my physiology was horrible, but wasn't long lived. I can say that. Um, yeah. So that's all I wanted to talk about right now, because that's just what I've been thinking about this afternoon and evening. So take care, and remember, as always, to continue affirming what you want for yourself, the kind of life that you want to experience. And remember that the purpose of humans is to enjoy being alive and to experiment. And in whatever you do, just make sure that it's in that vein of enjoyment. And that's another thing that I was thinking too, is like, that's a big question I've had this past couple years is, how do I know what's right for me? Like, you know, what lifestyle works for me, or that I'm supposed to be doing. I can see like examples of people on the internet, for example, that they live certain ways. I'm like, oh, that looks so beautiful, um and so good, like intellectually, but then when I tried it, like, it didn't feel good to me. And I think that's what a big place I've come to realize this past, I don't know, during 2024 especially, for me, has just been, I guess, learning to understand what intuition means to me, and being able to acknowledge the rational basis behind acting in accordance with feelings, meaning sensations. By feelings, I don't necessarily mean emotions, because emotions are kind of like the feeling, like the bodily sensations attached to these kind of stereotypical narratives or archetypes about how to interpret those sensations, which directs us to like take certain actions. So I don't necessarily mean listening to my emotions um as a part of intuition, but I mean more listening to my feelings, as in my bodily sensations. um yeah. Take care. Talk soon. Bye.